What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Live at E3 2013. I'm Damon Hatfield. This is Ryan McCaffrey. We're going to get things started off right with Dead Rising 3.
Absolutely.
Here to show us the game is Josh Bridge.
Hi, guys.
What do you got for us? This is Dead Rising 3, Xbox One exclusive.
Absolutely, yeah. We're launching in November with the system.
That's very exciting. We saw a little bit of a demo yesterday during the conference.
A really, really good demo.
Yeah. We're gonna get
You guys liked it?
Yeah,
Very much.
Enough zombies?
There are lots of zombies.
I think you could, maybe there could have been
Just
three more.
squeeze a bit more in there.
Three short.
Yeah, I thought I saw a little space in the back.
Room for just one more, maybe. Can we get right to the footage over here? Let's pull this up. What can you tell us about Dead Rising 3?
Well, it takes place 10 years after Dead Rising 2 in the city of Los Perdidos, California. It's about 3 days post-outbreak where we pick up the story here with Nick Ramos. He's stuck in this city. It's in a military sort of lockdown, a quarantine, and he's just trying to survive, you know, scavenge items and deal with all these crazy amounts of zombies.
What was your first impression when you saw it yesterday?
I was just so thrilled to see Dead Rising return because
it was an exclusive on the original Xbox. It seems fitting. Or I mean Xbox 360.
By default, yeah.
So one thing a lot of people were talking about is Dead Rising has often had it's known for its sense of humor.
Yes.
And being very silly.
Yes.
Having silly costumes and stuff. We didn't really get a look at that here.
Yeah.
That's still a part of Dead Rising?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was actually intentional to go with something that has like a darker, more gritty tone to it. And the idea is like all that sort of comedy is still there in the game. You know, all the crazy combo weapons or, you know, changing your outfits and whatnot. But we want to make sure the juxtaposition had higher contrast. We didn't want to be upfront funny because I kind of don't find that funny. Okay. Someone tells me, hey, this is funny, do you find it funny? And you're kind of like, nah.
Sure.
So try to keep it serious, keep it gritty, and then if you choose to do that, that contrast is almost like photobombing the game, and I hope you find that funny.
Okay, all right.
How many zombies are we looking at on the screen right now, just in this scene as we're looking out at the rooftop?
Lots. You know, the numbers are variable depending on how many, but we're definitely pushing way more than we've ever been able to on Dead Rising 2.
And now we obviously a huge upgrade to the lighting system. We got this is no just mistaking this from the first two games.
Yeah, that was actually part of it. You know, obviously going with Xbox One and really being able to push the graphics and the fidelity of the world and real-time lighting, we actually wove that into gameplay as well. So you'll see things like the zombies have way more increased aggression and awareness, and they can hear and see, and like shooting out things like a flare would cause this really cool lighting effects. We want to marry the two together.
What's our hero's name here again?
Nick Ramos.
Nick Ramos.
He's an auto mechanic.
He used to be a mechanic before the outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess nobody's anything after the outbreak.
You know, you're just a survivor, right? And it's another everyday Joe that we're following along from the series where we always try to push a new hero.
So are there other distraction tools like this flare in the game to really help draw the horde away from you?
Yeah, I mean, we use the flare here because it's pretty powerful. It's really bright and it really attracts them. But yeah, there's things like, you know, if you bust into a store, it may still have its alarm set. Those alarms will actually attract them. And actually, you know, speaking of comedy, if you find a portable stereo, you just kind of put it down, lays a fat beat, and they all sort of gather around. They don't know what to do with it.
So convenient that there are some weapons lying around, but Dead Rising is known for more off-the-wall weapons. So
Yeah.
it's certainly still, it's not all guns, I take it.
Absolutely not. I mean, you're seeing here what we showed was we want to actually pull up some of the gunplay in the game to help balance it with the melee. So, you know, a big part of it is a big open world, it's a sandbox, you can kind of do what you want. We want to make sure that if you wanted to fire a gun, it felt satisfying, but really, we've really invested as well in the melee combat, and that's where a lot of the combo weapons, you know, that custom crafting comes in.
Which I know we'll see later in the video.
Yeah.
So, what about some of the Dead Rising staples? Is the game still on a time limit? Are there multiple endings depending on what you choose to do or not do?
Yeah, I mean, we looked at the game and we still wanted the pressure, right? That we wanted to have, you know, something to keep you moving along. And in the past, we really focused on time being that pressure element. So with the game, we actually, with these increased aggressive zombies, they're the enemy now, right? That's where that pressure comes from. But we do have, if you're a big fan of Dead Rising and you love being punished by a timeline, punish you, we will actually. We have another mode in there. It's called Nightmare Mode, and it's actually time constrained, right? Not only do you have those deadly zombies, but you have that timeline pushing you. That's a banana split right there. A little zombie just went.
Yeah.
Where was achievement unlocked on that? I didn't see it.
Still working on, obviously, work in progress software, but that would be an awesome moment to actually share with folks.
Although speaking of achievements, they've become legendary on the Xbox platform, and one of the original legendary achievements was the Zombie Genocider achievement for wiping out, it was 50-some thousand zombies, was the entire population of the town in the first game.
Yes.
Well, and then we saw that, I believe, followed up in Dead Rising 2 as well. Will that remain a tradition?
Yes,
for Dead
absolutely.
Rising 3?
But you can see the numbers are quite higher, and your ability to wipe out more is quite more possible with all these vehicles too.
Gotta up
right?
the ante a little bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna definitely up the ante on that.
We're seeing just a full open world here.
Yes, fully open world, all streaming, and we didn't want to go for like just vastness alone, right? We want to make sure we still packed it with that density. Going into stores, climbing on roofs, all that's there to explore and find unique items. What we're coming up to here is actually a smart glass enabled feature.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
So everyday Joe can call an airstrike, a bit of a juxtaposition there, but there's a story behind it. If you have smart glass enabled, you actually get a unique voice, a character that has his own story and missions. And that character is kind of like, he's stuck in some sort of military control center, and he has like an eye in the sky. So as you work with him, he can actually figure out ways to hijack some of these sort of military sort of support abilities. In this case, he worked with you on getting an airstrike in.
There it is. The return of Dead Rising.
Dead Rising 3. It looks great.
Great. I'm glad you
Can't
guys
wait
are
to
excited.
play
We're
some
super
more.
excited to be here.
Yeah, that was
And a day one launch title, so I need my $4.99 for the system plus another few bucks on the side
Yes.
for
Few
Dead
bucks,
Rising
yes.
3.
Look at that. Absolutely want you guys there. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing it by.
Cool,
Josh.
thanks.
Really appreciate
Cheers.
it. Yeah. Have a great E3.
Sweet. Thanks.
You stick around, McCaffrey,
I'll
because
be-
next up we have another Xbox One exclusive, Rise.